Hi everyone, welcome back to my bariatric journey. My name is Miranda. Today I was actually thinking about nostalgic things. So I was totally thinking about soup. I just wanted soup. Now I'm already doing turkey shepherd's pie tonight for dinner. So it's not really shepherd's pie. Obviously shepherd's pie is made with lamb. We all know that. But I'm making a turkey version of it tonight for dinner, a bariatric friendly version. But I was also thinking soup. I want soup for lunch today. I'm like just craving soup. So I was thinking about my favorite soup when I was a kid was that like Campbell's vegetable soup with the alphabets in it. Alphabets, not alphabets, the cereal alphabet, like the alphabet pasta in it. Anyway, so I'm going to make that today. So I decided, I found a recipe and it is a fully vegan recipe. It's not my recipe at all. It's from plantpowercouple.com. It's 100% not my recipe. I haven't made any changes to it at all. I haven't done anything to make it different. If you're not vegan, if you're not vegetarian, you want to add some more protein, feel free to add your own chicken or turkey or whatever you want, some pre-cooked meat into this. It would probably taste really good with some ham. Honestly, I think ham would taste good in it, but right now we're just going for the plain vegetable version. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It says, it is a huge recipe. It says start with 3 quarts, so 12 cups of hot water. That's a lot. So I'm starting with 3 cups because I can't fit 12 cups in my blender and it wants me to blend all of this. It says to use an immersion blender, which I don't own an immersion blender. So we're going to go with just 3 cups of hot water. We're going to blend everything in a blender that needs to be blended, then add it to the pot and then add more water after. Because that's how it'll fit in my blender. So that's how I'm doing things today and that's how it's going to fit. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have 3 cups of hot water here. Now to this, we're going to add white kidney beans. It says to make sure to not drain the liquid. That liquid has a lot of the protein in it. So we're not going to drain the liquid. We're just going to add white kidney beans. And this is going to make it very creamy. My husband's got everything out for me today because I felt very rushed during my last video. And I was thinking that if everything was ready, I wouldn't feel like I have to chop everything on camera. So we're going to see how this works out today. So we have 1 can of white kidney beans. That was a 19-ounce can of white kidney beans. Start at the local grocery store. And then we have 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. That's one of the small cans of tomato paste. If you don't have cans of tomato paste where you are, you just need 6 ounces of tomato paste out of the little jar you get it in. I know you can get it in a jar or in a squeeze tube as well. That's 6 ounces of tomato paste, and then 1 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And again, we're not draining any of the liquid out of any of this stuff. We want it to stay nice and liquidy because this is going to be our almost creamy soup part. So almost creamy base to this soup. Not fully creamy, but let's get this lined up here. No, that's not too bad. We're good. Hopefully it doesn't squirt everywhere. My husband is covering his face. He thinks I'm going to get it everywhere and he's afraid. But it won't because I've done this before. There we go. So that's it. Fully pulverized. We didn't make a mess. So that's all good. All right. So there we go. That's kind of our creamy soup base. Now we're going to add more hot water to this as well. So let's go ahead and add that to our pot. Oh, look how nice and thick that looks. It looks so nice. Now this as well has measurements on the side. So I'm going to use this to measure out the rest of my water. So I'm going to put 6 more cups in. I'm going to leave 3 cups reserved. If I need it, I'm going to add it in. But I like my soup kind of thick, so I'm not going to add too much water. I'm going to leave 3 cups reserved just in case. 4 cups of water, I just use the same container because that's easier. Okay, now for the vegetable part of my vegetable soup. As you can see, that looks terrific. Looks very yummy. Nothing at all wrong with that. It's not too thick and it's not too thin. It's just perfect for soup. And it's got those white beans in there to kind of add a creaminess to it as well as just to add some more protein because y'all know we need our protein. Okay, so now we have 2 large potatoes that have been washed, peeled, and cut into small chunks. I'm going to add that in. And we have 1.5 cups of diced carrot. Same thing. Just cut and washed in small chunks. Then we have 2 stalks of celery that I've gone ahead and chopped up. Put in there. Well, my husband actually did it. I should give him credit for the production. Now we have, all I've done is 1 can of each, of corn and peas, because I had cans available, but if you're doing frozen, do about 2 cups of each, is what it says to do, but I've done it in cans myself, because that's just easier for me. Now we have green beans. Let's go ahead and some frozen, these are actually just frozen green beans that we've chopped in half. Add those in. Okay. Now, what we're adding to it as seasoning is just 1 tablespoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoons of pepper, and 1.5 tablespoons of just Italian seasoning. I have my seasonings here. Add those in. Of course, I didn't have everything ready. My husband asked me, do you have everything ready? Nope, I didn't. But he knows me well enough to know that's how I work. So 1 tablespoon of salt. 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper. I'm just using standard black pepper. I'm not going to grind my own today for this recipe. This is supposed to be a nice, easy, sunny day recipe to give you something nostalgic. There's no reason to grind your black pepper in advance. Although you can. I mean, if you're that kind of person, go nuts. And 1.5 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. You don't have Italian seasoning. I've seen lots of recipes online to mix your own with Italian herbs and with dried Italian herbs and spices. So if you have a pretty good spice cupboard, but you don't actually have Italian seasoning, you probably have everything that's in it. All right, and that is it. That is the entire soup completely done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to a boil. And once it's boiled, we're going to let it cook for 20 minutes or until those little bits of potato are cooked in. So until they're nice and tender and you can bite into them, the potato and carrots. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the oven and let it cook. Bring it up to a boil and then let it cook for 20 minutes. So I'll see you guys in 20 minutes once it's all cooked up. Thanks so much. All right, we're back. Wonderful. So this was on the stove took about 5 minutes to boil, and then we let it simmer on medium-low for another 20 minutes. And I was skimming the top as it went to get any foam that came off. I think that was mostly from the beans that there was some foam. Could be because I was using a wooden spoon as well. I always use a wooden spoon, but I read online that can cause your soup to foam. So I was skimming the foam off the top as it was going. Okay, I wasn't. My husband was. Because I cheat. Let him do it. So let's go ahead and get my cup of this soup. As you can see, it's fully vegan. Look at all those beautiful vegetables. Oh, goodness. I'm so excited to eat this. There we go. So that's my 1 cup. So I've measured it out. Put it in my own bowl. That bowl's almost exactly a cup. I never even noticed that before. All right, guys. So here is the gorgeous vegetable soup. As you can see, it had come down a bit. I never added those other 3 cups of water. I didn't need them. So I think this is great. With just 9 cups of water, you don't need 12 by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, and I'd like to comment on the makeup. I'm getting my pictures done later. So that is the makeup. I don't normally do my makeup. I might start doing my makeup more often. I see it all the time. Beauty bloggers on YouTube doing it, and they make it look so easy. So I might try. This took like half an hour. And I think I look awful, but my husband says I look beautiful, so whatever. Anywho, let's go ahead and try this delicious soup. Oh, everything looks so good. You know what it's missing? I just realized it doesn't have the lima beans. It doesn't have lima beans in it. Mushrooms would be good in it too. Oh, that sounds delicious. Anywho, let's get a bite. So I got a little bit of everything on my spoon there. Oh. Very hot. Wow. They're right. It very much tastes like Campbell soup. That is so good. It's not just a tomato base, like it's tomato and white beans and lots of water, and all those spices. But it's definitely perfect. Oh, so good. Oh, well, there you have it. That is my version, or not my version, someone else's version. You'll see the link in the description below of the Campbell style vegetable soup. Makes this huge pot. I think I'm going to have soup for the next 12 years just for me. Hopefully it lasts pretty good. I'm going to do some research and see how it freezes, and I will link that in the description or in my blog post. I'll put down if it froze well and if it can be reheated later. And I will let you know how that worked out. All right, thanks so much for joining me again today, and we'll see you a little bit later today for my turkey shepherd's pie. Thanks so much. See you later, guys. Have a great day.